Today I want to talk to our clients in Snowbird destinations. What do you do if you're a Florida resident or maybe a Texas resident or some other part of the US where there are a lot of Canadian cars on the road as well, and you get in a crash that's caused by a driver from Canada? You might think it's the same, but there are some additional or important steps you need to take to make sure you can still advance that claim. Number one, these people are going to leave. So it is extremely important to document everything, as much information as possible. You want license plate numbers. You want to know if that car is a Canadian car or if it's a rental vehicle in your state. Take photographs if you can, or at the very least, write down the license plate number and also the state or province where that plate originated from. Is it a US plate or is it a Canadian plate? Make sure you get a copy of their driver's license. If they're carrying insurance or proof of insurance, get a photocopy, take a picture. It's really important. You want to know who their insurance company is. You want to see their driver's license. You need to know their license plate, and then collect whatever information you can in terms of contact information that you might want to write down. That's critically important. Number two, you always call the police if you're involved in a crash with someone that's not from your home jurisdiction, especially if they're from a different country. So if you get in a crash with a Canadian, you definitely want a police report, because the police will also investigate and collect this information and document the scene and usually give a narrative of how the crash occurred. If there are witnesses, get the names and contact information of any and all witnesses to the crash. Now, here's what typically happens. The person that's not from your state ends up leaving. And if you don't have this information, it's really hard to advance a claim. It's hard to find this person. If you don't have a police report, if you don't have their insurance, if you don't have their driver's license, it's really tough to track them down and put them on notice and notify their insurance company. So get that information. You'll protect yourself in the event that you're injured and need to advance a claim for your medical bills and for your injuries. The reason why this is so near and dear to me and a subject I talk about frequently is because I practice on both sides of the border. Although I commenced my practice in the United States, about halfway through my career, I got my license in Ontario as well, in Canada, and we've got other lawyers in our Canadian office with licenses in other parts of Canada. So we're equipped to track down the Canadian drivers, track down their insurance information, put them on notice, and ultimately hold them accountable for any harms and losses they caused while visiting your state. Most Canadians are very well insured. They typically have substantial and adequate insurance coverage. Unlike the United States, Canadian insurance is pretty cheap and the coverages are pretty high. And so in our experience, most Canadian drivers that end up getting in crashes in the United States very often have a valid policy, and more often than not, their policy limits are $1 million or more. Now, those are Canadian dollars, but still, even converted, it's a significant personal lines policy. The good news is you probably do have recourse for your medical bills, for your pain and suffering, for any lost wages, because Canadians have, by and large, very good insurance policies. Given that our practice is on both sides of the border, both in the United States and Canada, we are uniquely positioned to be able to help people that have cross-border injury claims. Whether you're an American that was rear-ended by a Canadian driver, or if you're a Canadian that got in a crash in the United States, or if you're an American or a US resident that was traveling to Canada and got in a crash. This is one of the areas where our firm really excels, and we're often called upon by individuals, by families, and very often by other lawyers. So if you've got questions and you were involved in a cross-border case, meaning people from different jurisdictions, feel free to reach out to us. Our consultations are always free. It's a subject we really enjoy. We know a lot about it, and we're happy to talk to you and give you a free consultation and help you make an informed decision. If you have any questions or comments about this video, please leave them in the comments below. We love the questions, and it gives us ideas for future videos, and we'll try our best to respond to you. Thanks again for watching.